Hello my friends, welcome to my channel, The Leaf Heart Path. I've had some time off for personal growth and recharging my batteries, and I'm excited to be reading tarot for you today. I decided to go with an energetic and predicative video that looks into the energies of the upcoming months for you. This will be a timeless reading for all my friends out there who stumble on this later on. Truthfully, you can feel a pull to any pick a card reading, regardless of its theme, regardless of its date, and find that there is a message in it for you. So if you're somebody who likes them, you may have found that you could be drawn to a video that was dated 2 years ago for the upcoming year and find that it still has something that's resonant for you right now. We're going to hop straight into today's reading. If you are new to pick a card readings, we have 4 piles for you to choose from today, moving from left to right. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and then we have pile 4. All you need to do is tune into the energy in the way that best suits you, and then go to your pile's timestamp or chapter in the description box or the video bar below for your free intuitive reading. You can choose more than one pile for your messages. I do recommend starting with a pile that has the most resonance for you, and then coming back to this intro to see if your second or third or fourth choice still has a pull for you. Sometimes after we watch, then that kind of pull gets resolved. We have what we need. There is no right or wrong way to do this. Select your group in the way that you best see fit. You might use the group's number, how the group feels, or you might choose with crystals. I am going to add crystals to the top of these for those who like choosing with them. Group 1 is marked with this beautiful piece of Hematoid quartz. And you're going to be working with the Mystic Mondays Tarot. Group 2, this is a Raw Sapphire. And you're going to be working with the Guardian of the Night Tarot. All right, group 3, your crystal is this white quartz from Lake Superior. It's been tumbled, and it was found out on the beach out front here. And your deck that you're working with today is the Blooming Cat Tarot. And then finally, group 4, you have Bumblebee Jasper. Isn't that fun? And your tarot deck is the Ostara Tarot. It's one of my favorites. Okay, friends, so take as much time or as little as you need to choose your group. You can pause the video here before moving on to your group's timestamp. I'm going to move into the individual readings, and I will see you shortly in your video. Bye, friends. Hi, group 1. If you picked Hematoid quartz as your crystal, if you were drawn to this and the Mystic Mondays Tarot, then welcome to today's reading. This is your peek ahead spread, and what I would like to do with this particular reading is leave things a little more freeform. So we want to see what particular messages are being emphasized for you in whatever way that they want to come forward. So this reading may cover relationships, it may cover career, it may cover hobbies, it may cover self-improvement. It really depends on what your guides would like to emphasize. I'm going to pull 3 oracle cards. Each card is going to indicate a theme for the upcoming month, something to kind of target our thoughts and what's coming through. And then we're going to clarify these themes with tarot for more specific information and a smattering of advice regarding these particular themes or ideas. And please remember, as with all pick a card readings, nothing is set in stone, particularly with predicative energies. It's really kind of about your current energy and what's there. Your free will trumps everything else. That is the ultimate key to anything going forward, whether you want to harness and work with what's already here, or whether you want to sidestep what's coming through and maybe change directions a little bit. It's totally up to you. All right, enough talking. We're going to take a look at your cards today. So with our first group, we have the energy of rose quartz. And I'm being told actually to show you that if you would like to take a screenshot of that particular message. I'm not going to read through all of that. What is being emphasized today, though, is that this crystal is associated with love and nurturing, particularly of the self. Romance as well for some of you. So if that sounds about accurate for you, then you are in the right place. Okay, let's look at your tarot cards. I want to start with my partnered folks, so people that may already be in relationship. Or if you have a specific friendship or other relationship in mind. I would say that your message here is about deepening your understanding of your partner, of yourself, and the context in which you both see your relationship. So during the next few months, you may be seeing yourselves in a new light, which brings about a change in your connection with one another. Ooh, that was the fireplace kicking on. Part of this change may involve you doing some self-reflection, a dive into yourself, your needs, and how you've been operating in general. I'm getting an overall feeling of burnout for you, which may be spilling into various parts of your life. This feels like group one, a time to process a bit, to engage in self-care, whatever that looks like for you, and not to make too many big decisions right now. I feel like if there's any discontent, some of that has to do with this state of overwhelm you may be experiencing or that burnout. It may be skewing your perception of your relationship so that your lens is a little bit off kilter here. As we have the Knight of Cups, we kind of think of that knight in shining armor with this energy, except it's in reverse here. And notice we have the moon with intuition. And so, yeah, I feel like there is a little bit of a block here just with your lens and how you're viewing things. Now is not the time to make big life-altering decisions until you feel settled and you have a steady, kind of clear view, which we're going to get here with this Emperor card. And I don't want any of you to feel alarmed by this. This is just more like we need to sit back and wait until the timing is right to make our bigger decisions. The Emperor can make these decisions from a place of clarity, right? But if our perception's already off, we're kind of in suspension, we're going to wait a little bit. You don't want to jump into anything. And this feels like a shift in perspective that's happening for many partnered folks. Okay? For some, it's finally being aware of some of the differences and how the two of you see things, and the direction of the relationship itself. And this feels like, some processing maybe needs to be done and chatting about it along the way. To me, it feels like an understanding can be reached with a clear picture of who you are as a unit moving forward. So this is just about talking and communication, really. Making sure you're in a steady place before making any decisions or talking about things that may alter the trajectory of your relationship, so that you both are approaching from, I think, equal ground and even ground. And those of you who are single, you may already have resonated with parts of what I've been saying so far. There may be someone on your mind or someone who's already in your energy field where you're noticing this divide or this disconnect. It's almost like we have two parties here and there's this division between you two. For others of you, you may have someone entering your life with this energy, or this could apply again to a friendship, and not necessarily a romance. It could be even like a business partnership. Basically what I'm seeing is I see you as two people who have different viewpoints about where things are going. Your expectations may be a little bit different. Or perhaps, love and romance and partnership in general, some of you may not be totally clear about what you want yet. However, I do think there is this fabulous individual who's captured your attention. And I almost see this like we're coming from totally opposite places. We've got the Emperor here and we have the Hanged Woman. Okay. The Emperor has more of a fixed mindset in what they desire, or perhaps they're learning about what it is they desire and they're figuring that out, or themselves out, with all the determined focus that like an Aries sign might bring to that. A little bit of fire, determination. They may be a bit more traditional, as we have the Hierophant here. And they may be possibly seeking someone to grow with, a long-term connection, something more serious than perhaps they originally anticipated. Or they may have totally been taken by surprise by somebody who's just delightful, that has emerged from their blind spot. So it could be even a friendship that's evolving into something else. You know what that's like when you're friends with somebody and then suddenly there's a new energy, there's a new potential happening here. You know, and the other side of this, the other character, the other player that we have here, the other person, is this hanged woman who feels more free-flowing and more emotional. So we have that Knight of Cups there. Someone who's been enjoying themselves and perhaps has been on a journey of self-discovery. They're not as organized as the Emperor, that's for sure. I want to say, even though I know this card is associated with Aries, I feel like big Virgo energy here, like lists and words and knowledge and plowing forward, versus the Hanged Woman kind of operating from a space of the heart right now. Really diving into emotions and looking to gain some clarity. Someone who's playful, perhaps a little bit of a teasing energy to them, but also tangled up and perhaps spinning their wheels at times, right? Overthinking things. I want to think of a spider who's getting caught up in their own web. Now, you might resonate with either one of these people. My point is, besides the differences between these two, there is an obvious attraction here. Look at this with the Tower card. It's like we have these radio wave signals. They're signaling the two of you. Something you'd see out of an old movie. And it's like, hello. I would not be surprised if there's some kind of communication happening here in the 5D for some of you, like a telepathic bond, or one of you feels something in their body and the other person does too. I do think there's a lot of energy sharing that's happening between the two of you. A lot going on in the 5D. And perhaps it's between your guides. It could be your intentions. It could be your dreams. And this could also indicate there's a barrier of physical distance as well. That's what I'm getting. As I want to associate this Tower card further with technology, we were talking about those radio waves. It's like you use the internet or phones to communicate. So, you know, across town, across the country, across different continents. I feel like there is some stubbornness here, or perhaps, and it might be on part of the Emperor. Well, I think also the Hanged Woman can be equally stubborn. And the Emperor, I think, here may view the Hanged Woman as being out of reach or incompatible, but there's a lot of strength and compatibility here. My feeling is I feel very good about this connection. Both parties have their own things going on. You are busy, but it's okay to take your eyes off your goals for a little bit and get to know one another a little bit more. I want to say, group one, it's safe. One of you needs to hear that it's safe. You can put your guard down. You can take that first step. Or if the other person has been perhaps stepping towards you, allow, relax. You see how the Tower here is built on the 10 of Cups in reverse? This is like not trusting what's in front of you because of your past experiences. The Tower is not your connection here, but what is holding you back from forging and exploring a beautiful connection together. This is meant to come down, right? And when it does, you'll be able to see each other more clearly. My advice would be to start with friendship and see where it leads, group one. You will be pleasantly surprised. Have fun with this. And I want to touch base now and go back to some of my other friends who might just be focusing on a friendship here. Perhaps barriers and walls need to come down. This also could be for any other kind of partnership you can think of, work, etc. There may have been some miscommunication where someone needs to step forward and recognize and honor the other party. There may be some pride involved here, and it's okay to be the first person to apologize and see where things go. It's okay to be vulnerable and really listen. Don't assume or put words in the other person's mouth. There may be a lot of depth to what this other individual is feeling that they are not letting on. Yeah, they're not letting on to that. And there may be things that they're holding back from you. Yeah, or perhaps you're pulling back from them. And of course, there's nothing you can do about that. and I want to focus more on you. I'm being a little more tough on you here because there is so much promise, I think, of beautiful things to come here. You guys have 2/3 of your cards again as majors. You know, we've got the Emperor, the Tower, and the Hierophant, and the Hanged Woman. So 4 out of 6. You have a great foundation to rebuild from, and many, many beautiful shared future experiences together. It may take a new approach, it may take time to build that trust, but there is something really special here, Group 1. So that is what is coming through for the theme of relationships and nurturing and love and romance. So we're going to move on to your next theme for the months ahead. Okay, so your next theme is ametrine. And again, I'll flip that over so you can see it. If you want to screenshot the information that's there, I'm just going to kind of go off of what this encompasses. For me, what I'm picking up from this is balance and intuition and creativity, connection, energy, very oriented toward your sacral chakra. All right, and our cards here, I'll pull them up as we go over them. We have 4 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the 8 of Cups, 9 of Cups, the 8 of Wands, and the 2 of Wands. So some of you may have something going on physically in the sacral area of the body and what that represents. So it's relating to family, creation of family, pregnancy, adoption, creativity also. Others of you are undergoing a big transformation at this time. For some, that's tied to your physical vessel, and for others, it's more emotional or mental growth. Also, spirituality or intuitive growth and dreams may be important to you in the months ahead. Okay, so first of all, I feel like there is movement from dreams and daydreaming, planning and passion, to something that's more active, to actively creating with a rootedness in stability. Things are coming along for you, Group 1. Whatever dreams and plans that are important to you. And for some of you, they may have been fancies. So we have our Knight of Cups here. But they're becoming rooted in reality. These are 4 of Wands. Things that seemed far off for you, impossible, or were relics or wishes of the past, are moving up into your playlist again. Perhaps they were dreams of your youth or something you thought about a decade ago, or they may have been wishes that you really kept on the down low, away from others and their eyes and their attention. So guess what? Those wishes and fancies are asking for your attention, please. Some of you may have started to put a little effort, a little energy into these goals, thinking that they won't amount to anything, but that's where you're going to be pleasantly surprised, because the 9 of Cups is about wish fulfillment, right? While the 4 of Wands shows us a nice firm foundation that you're constructing. So this card may also hint at teamwork with somebody, and certainly that's a reason to celebrate. So I feel like for you, big things are really possible at this time. 9 is such a high number, and this shows that you can really push your goal, whatever this is, to the maximum. You are capable of big change, as we see with the 2 colors on our ametrine crystal, right? This is much closer to your grasp, I think, than you realize. I'm just like really excited. This energy feels really buzzy right now. I think some of you are going to be absolutely tickled over this. And I am really curious to what this might mean to you. So if you're inclined, please share with fellow Group 1 friends in the comment box below, and I'd love to hear what is going on for you. And for those of you who are actively seeking change, this is your confirmation. This iteration of the 6 of Swords for me, it reminds me of shark fins in the water, right? And I think this is you moving on from that turbulence and that that terror, that scariness, tricky times, general stuckness, negative habits, and just and perhaps negative thinking too. And you're moving on into smoother waters. This change of scenery brings about a swiftness to any personal transformation that you're going through. There's our 8 of Wands. Look at the sun on that. Things are warmer, things are brighter, they're softer, they're safer. This could also indicate travel is happening soon for some of you, or maybe you're planning that for the future. Landscape, weather, and climate are likely to be different than where you are now if you are traveling in the next few months or planning it. If it's not very different, it's still going to be a welcome respite from your current day-to-day. So keep an eye on the sky for news. Messages will be clear, your intuition may be sharper, and you may be receiving communication from someone via technology, such as texting, email, video chat. This feels important, or it feels very welcome to me. The frequency of your contact may be increasing, or you may hear back about something rather rapidly. And during this period of time, your intuition may be sharper, and you may receive intuitive downloads during meditation or while spending time outside. So keep your eye out and your ear ready for these insights. They may not have a clear or direct source for you, but trust what feels right. Learning to trust your gut may be part of your goals during this period, or perhaps you are engaged in dream work, which will be quite eye-opening for you. And if this sounds like you might want to keep a notebook or a digital recorder or your phone handy for recording insights as you wake. Messages are flying fast and furiously during this time. Now I want to look at the 8 of Cups and 2 of Wands here together. These two cards are interesting. They have a very similar look to them, don't they? Both depict what looks like a road, and for me, this feels like positive change. Big positive changes for you. It's a confirmation of that. This feels like a conscious and deliberate choice of leaving habits behind that no longer serve you, so that your future is an open road with many possibilities. For some, this could be cutting back on consuming alcohol or drugs, and for others, limiting your social media time. It could be examining past behaviors to inform present choices, refraining from gossip, breaking out of toxic relationships and patterns, making healthier eating choices. I see you as this figure walking down this road here. And for each cup or choice that you reach, it's like you knock it off the path. And as you do so, you stand up a little taller each time. Your stride gets longer, and by the end of the road, you have a smile on your face. Some of you are ready to embark on an unexpected and totally new journey, and I'm pretty excited about this for you, Group 1. All right. Good days ahead. Good things happening for you. Big stuff. We're going to pop over into our last theme. Okay, friends, so your final theme for the upcoming months is Onyx. And Onyx, we have here, I'm going to just read what we have here. We have autonomy and self-discipline and command with this. I want to say protection as well. Yeah, I think some of you are going to be breaking free of bonds that held you back, quite simply. These may be attached to others. They may also be self-imposed and self-created. If you hear noise behind me, that's Goomba. He sounds like an old guy. This may also have to do with this 8 of Cups and 2 of Wands transformation we just spoke about. But I see you moving forward with integrity and a healthy new respect for yourself. Your boundaries are in place, and there's a better understanding of who you are. So I think much of this is about seeing your own worth. We have the Hermit here, and I like this one because the Hermit is facing a mirror in this particular structure, and it's getting into alignment with your inner power, as we see with the Ace of Wands. So I think group one, a lot of you may be coming from situations where you aren't really seeing your true beauty and strength, where you aren't totally appreciative of the gorgeous core of who you are as a human being. And some of you may be trying to shake a recent experience or its lingering effects that have left you feeling a tad deflated, and you might be using this time for healthy introspection. When I see this, the Seven of Swords, and we have the Nine of Wands here, those are kind of similar postures that we have. First of all, this makes me feel like you might have been burning the candle at both ends. You're tired, you're burned out, or are perhaps feeling totally backed into a corner. We did kind of talk about that earlier. I don't remember if it was this, I think it was that spread. So there may have been times recently where you've had to make sacrifices or choices based off of these feelings, because it's like you're running on fumes. We don't make the best decisions when we are running on fumes, when we're totally empty. It's sort of like the logical part of our brain will turn off. And so we start making more emotional decisions, and that isn't always the best choice. You may have been alternating hiding at times. And then other times feeling like you need to fight the world. When we're chronically operating from this space, we probably aren't making the best decisions for ourselves. And what this is telling us, this onyx spread, is telling me, we've got the star here. This feels like a total 180 is happening for you. Like, this is not going to be your normal anymore. Your wishes are being granted. A respite is coming for you soon. There's hope here, and I think you're going to have a lot of options going forward. You're going to be in a much calmer place, a steadier place, one where you can, see your own power and can make beautiful, steady progress towards your goals and your self-improvement, whatever that looks like for you. And that could directly be related to what we see happening over here as well. And this could actually be kind of spilling over into everything if we work this way. This energy, it's about you. It's about making choices out of self-love for your own steady growth instead of reacting to the energies of those around you. It's building up you under your own supervision and authority. So how do you want your future you to feel? What words would you use to describe future you? Use these feelings and ideas to help sculpt goals for yourself and the first steps down this road of change. And they don't need to be big. Progress is progress. Baby steps count. Start by honoring one small promise to yourself every day and show up. What does self-love look like to you? Yeah, and didn't we talk about that at the beginning too? Okay, our last messages for you guys going forward. We've got Oracle of the Strange Forest. Porcupine. That's so cute. I think this is an extension of our onyx message here. Looks like it wants to take that. This is about protection and security. Empowerment. Take no shit from others. Sorry. Or yourself. Sometimes when we've been backed into a corner, we're really good at dishing it out to others, but we don't look at the damage that our own thinking and habits create within ourselves. So spend some time just witnessing your inner dialogue, your choices. In what ways can you be a bit kinder to yourself? And our porcupine here, despite all of its quills, it creates a moment to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. So make time for yourself, no matter what is going on, to create your own harbor of refuge so that you can give yourself what you need moving forward. Okay. And from the Wild Offering Oracle, we have Striving. Eventually, the individual ego's drive to make things happen falls away, replaced with a relaxed, trusting openness to answers as they arise. Thank you, Divine, for letting me move with the flow. This is nice. We talked about making positive changes for yourself, but this to me is that sweet spot you hit when you are totally at ease You know, the quills are put away. You're naturally radiant with your own power, and you've got nothing to prove here. You're enjoying yourself, and that, I feel, is really what's coming here for you, Group 1. It's well within your reach, and just because we're striving or working for something, it doesn't mean we need to keep pushing ourselves to the point where we are totally burned out. Because again, that's where we lose our intuition. That's where we lose our connection to things. We want this to be a little more loose and a little more open. All right, last little words of wisdom. The Inquire Within Oracle. Finding balance. Stop and let it all grow around you for a little bit. I love that. And you already are. Very lovely. I'll let you apply those words of wisdom as you see fit to your current situation. So overall, Group 1, I feel really positively about these changes for you and what's ahead on your current path. Let us know a little bit about your journey and post your favorite, let's go with a travel emoji here to represent your road ahead. And know that anything you post, your words help guide others on their path. I want to thank you for being here with us today, Group 1. I'm sending you big love and gratitude. And if you're interested in booking a personal reading, you can find information in the description box below the video. If you felt this reading was entertaining or beneficial, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel for more free pick-a-card readings in the future. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And thanks for spending time with us today. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Bye, my friends. Hello, Group 2. If you picked the Raw Sapphire and the Guardian of the Night Tarot, then you are in the right place for your peek ahead spread. What I would like to do is more of a free-form reading than some of the other intuitive picks that I've done in the past. I'd like to see what particular messages are being emphasized for you and then just go from there. So this may cover relationships or hobbies or self-improvement, career. It really depends on what is coming through and what your guides would like to emphasize. How this is going to work is I will pull 3 oracle cards here, and each card is then indicative of a theme for the upcoming months, and we will clarify these themes with tarot for more specific information with a spattering of advice regarding these themes. So remember, as with all pick-a-card readings, nothing, absolutely nothing is set in stone here, particularly with predicative energies. Your free will is the ultimate key with everything, so you can think of this as confirmation and a harnessing of your current energy. And if you like where things are going, then you can lean into that a little bit. And if you don't, you can simply step back and change your trajectory a little bit based off of what is going on. All right, let's take a look at your cards, everybody. We're starting with the card of Emerald that we have here. What I'm going to do is flip this over. It's upside down. There we go. If you want to take a little picture of that, you can screenshot that. And what I want to talk about is how Emerald is associated with spring and vitality, relationships, renewal. I want to say unity is coming forward as well. The color green is associated with the heart chakra, and this makes me really want to lean into relationships for you. This is a joyful card. It's one of hope and lush growth, a lot of beautiful possibilities here, and this really makes me smile. I feel a lot of happiness with this. It's an almost giddy kind of feeling, like you have just met your closest friend, the one that you have such great chemistry with, the one who makes you laugh, and you just enjoy each other's company. This may mean something significant for some of you. Perhaps this is a renewal with relationships, or it might be that you're meeting someone special. It's just all around a very beautiful period of time. I really, really like this. This is very different than what we've had so far. Okay, let's pull your cards. Let's look at what we have here. Okay, so Two of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Knight of Cups, the Emperor, Ace of Cups, and Two of Cups. So, wow, there is a lot of momentum and energy happening here, group 2. Holy smokes, this isn't just a fertile period that we talked about. This is like watching an entire garden sprout from seed to shoot and then bloom in rapid motion. I feel like we're watching the period of spring itself just root and unfurl at 10 times its normal speed. This is a highly concentrated and potent energy. It's like the roots or seeds have been underground. They've been filled with nutrients and energy, just waiting for their time to grow. And this is that time. Yeah, it's like you're watching one of those stop motion videos of like mushrooms blooming or just, you know, like plants growing. That's what this is. These seeds are getting that first whisper of an urge to begin their path toward the light, and they are taking that. Yes, they are. Yeah. So this Ace of Cups, this is just, typically we think of this as this beautiful healing kind of offering. So if there's any soothing or mending that needs to happen within the relationship sector for you, group 2, this is already in your current energy. If there's sore feelings within some kind of existing relationship, it's like nothing is happening. Nothing happened at all. You're moving forward with ease. And together. The Chariot that we have here, it's represented by the honey badger, which we all know from our internet memes. This is an older one, but you know, they're independent, they're tough, they're a determined animal. And I want to say, with the presence of this Ace of Cups, there is a softening and a letting go. This may be the thing that helps the seeds of this emerald energy to burst through the cracks. Like, it's like we're looking at a sidewalk in the city, for example, and we know how things pop up in between the cracks. And for many of you, there is some kind of shift that's happening within your life. And that is going to allow this explosion of new vitality into your life. So for some of you, it could be an addition to your family. That could be like a pregnancy or delivery, adoption, announcement, whether that's directly you or not. Much of this to me, though, it feels relationship oriented. Call it friendship, call it business partners, call it lovers. Yeah, because we've got the Ace of Cups, we have the Knight of Cups, we have the Two of Cups, and then we have another balanced 2 here with the Two of Pentacles and our 2 dolphins right there. This period of growth has a definitive centering around relationships in your life. And this is likely one of the main facets we're looking at in the next few months for you. This is going to be an emotionally fulfilling time. And this to me is either taking something to the next level, or it may involve you being approached by someone. Whether that's deepening a friendly connection, such as taking a trip with your best friend, or starting a new business venture, or just getting to know someone better. I have to stop. Do you hear my dog snoring? Don't be shy, Goomba. It's okay, you can snore. Okay. Yeah, so we were talking about maybe taking a trip with your best friend, partnering of some kind, business partnership, getting to know somebody better, because we have this duality. We have these 2s here, the 2 of Pentacles and also the 2 of Cups. We've got the dolphins and the elephants here. There's a lot of seeing eye to eye within this. There's terrific communication and a nice balance between the 2 of you. This 2 of Pentacles in particular is, it's like 2 entities coming together, and the merger creates something new. So for those of you who are thinking business partnership, this is definitely a sign of things moving along in the right direction. A lot of fresh ideas, a lot of enthusiasm and ease with which you come together to create. And this is a lovely period of new growth for you, and it's highly stable as well. Okay, let's go to these corners now. We have the Emperor and the Knight of Cups. So these are like our bookends here. It's what's on the outside. Just like our twos were marrying each other, both of these birds here are kind of, they're facing outward, looking off into the distance. It's like two sides of the same coin. I'm having trouble speaking today. It's like mind and it's like emotion, wisdom and heart. And I feel like this is you and the other person. And for some of you, there may be some physical distance between you initially. And when you step into this softening Ace of Cups energy, nothing is going to divide you at that point. And I want to say for some of you that my heart is on fire. Ooh. This is definitely love for some of you. Wow. It may be those kind of chemistry-laden initial days of lust where your brain kind of goes offline for a while, but there's a beautiful setting that is going to happen. Or settling, not a setting, settling. Yeah. Kind of going from that kind of rush to something that's more stable. Elephants are renowned for their intelligence, their memory. And so I do see you as having long-term potential and certainly the opportunity to create beautiful new memories together, possibly creating something very big. And this may also point to love and a work opportunity, such as building a business together, collaborating on something. I also see these two birds as your prospective person, someone who's intelligent and a leader, but also perhaps a romantic or an open-hearted sweetie underneath it. And as mentioned with the Emerald card, I really feel this is a good connection. It's one that has a lot of spark to it, definitive chemistry, connection. There's a lot of joy here, group 2. So whatever relationship this is centering on for you, this is a very positive and happy thing. I'm excited for you. I would love to know more about what is going on in your life. If you would like to share that with us in the comment box below. Perhaps put a green heart to symbolize the group 2 crew in this emerald green relationship energy. So that's what we have for the theme of emerald and relationships coming up for you. We're going to move on to your next theme for the months ahead. Okay, your next theme is blue topaz. And what I'm getting from this is clarity and grounding, clear-sightedness, and I want to say a bridge between the upper and lower chakras. Yeah. This is the color of a pure blue sky, and my mind's eye is showing me a hawk flying high above the earth, scanning it far, far below. So this is the energy of big picture thinking and the clarity to hold that and balance it with your current space. Setting goals, seeing the bigger picture, making some really healthy and beautiful choices for yourself. Good choices for you. Perhaps confiding in others or someone special about your goals so that you're ready to hold yourself accountable. There's more here, but I do want to see how these messages translate with our tarot here. So your cards are the Nine of Swords, the Moon, we have Nine of Wands, so 2 nines there, the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and then beautiful, the Sun. So we have the Moon and the Sun. That's really interesting. So because we have the Nine of Swords and the Moon, I want to ask if you have been experiencing any fears or uncertainty or anxiety as of late. Because both of these cards deal with these themes, perhaps even hinting at a disrupted sleep cycle for you. Bringing back the clarity of blue topaz, it feels like these fears are or were due to things being a bit murky for you as of late, which is interesting because we have so much clarity with these two energies going forward, which is great. you may have been unclear about direction, roots, commitment, goals, visions. Some of you may be feeling disconnected because we talked about this being like a tether or like a cord. Maybe cut off where you might ordinarily feel more certain of yourself. Okay, and the 9 card can indicate, well here, this 9 of Wands can indicate a heavy feeling to that thought if we're talking about thoughts specifically, but this is really being pulled into the mind, into fears. So some of you may be waking up with panic attacks or have been plagued by some pretty intense dreams. Others of you may be cut off from remembering your dreams and also have a difficult time pursuing your waking dreams or goals. Your intuition may be cloudy at this time, and I do feel an acute loss of creativity or ambition or drive for some of you. It's like wading through mud. That's the way I want to describe the feeling. And the 9 of Wands here is reminding us that things are almost at an end with that, because these are heavy things and it's like you've been carrying them for a long time. This cycle's almost complete. It's time to move on. Let those things go. So 8 of Pentacles and the King of Wands. This shows you reclaiming your crown. As we can see right there on top of the lion's head. Your creativity, your ambition, your drive, you're getting all of those things. You're claiming them. You're going to be stepping into a period of clearer vision and insight as well, which is going to get you fired up again, I think, and get you on that correct path, that right path for you. This isn't a burning the candle at both ends kind of fire. This is a clean and clear energy. As I mentioned earlier, you're grounded, feet firmly planted in the earth. You're awake in your own body, your own self, your soul. And this translates to you being a better bridge to your intuitive senses. Your vision is clear as a result, group 2, and you shake off some of that murkiness and the muddiness that we were talking about. You know, as above, so below. Some of you may be developing some healthier habits, which is only going to help keep things clear and keep you moving on the path to your goals. This could be drinking less alcohol, drinking more water, regulating your sleep, going to doctor's appointments, incorporating movement or meditation. I also see talking to a trusted friend or loved one about your experiences. So being open with someone who will really listen, maybe help you with those goals, or just be an accountability buddy maybe. I almost see the two of you engaging in walking meditation for some of you, or just plain old walking and talking. And it's like you're in this little container, your own little container, your own little world, and it's very therapeutic. This person's idealistic and can and would love to help support you on your journey. They may not be someone who's nearby, but you could even talk to them over the miles nevertheless. So don't be shy. If there's someone in your life like that, don't be shy about opening up to others in the next few months, because you are more loved and appreciated than you realize, group 2. That's something else that's coming forward. I hope you know that. And that's part of the sun's transparency, truth here. Right? Honesty, being forthright. We talked about this, you know, the crystal blue color of the topaz and the clear skies, and the sun is part of this. Another big cat here too, huh? Shedding light on where you are, what your truths are, being honest with yourself and with others, and about where you want to go. And I want to say too that perhaps some truths come to light surrounding others and from others as well. So you may hear something you weren't expecting, get some news from someone, there may be some wrongs that will be righted. I think overall there's a better understanding of balance and what balance means to you in the upcoming months, group 2. That's going to help clear away a lot of this, you know, I want to say fretful or anxious energy. And as you step more fully into yourself, this clarity follows you and you shine with just a radiant brilliance that's truly magnetic. So I want to say this energy, you want to be prepared for a clear quality of mind and peace coming up, group 2, over the next coming months. This feels really good for you. All right, we're going to take a look at your last theme. So your theme for the upcoming months ahead surrounds itself around the energy of lapis, lapis lazuli. And the rendering of this stone to me looks so much like our earth. Oh yeah, I was going to show you that if you wanted that information as well. That might mean something for some of you. If you want to screenshot it. So this makes me think of the World card and interconnectedness. And the stone also reminds me of the throat chakra. Look at this, it's like we have the heart, and then we have the throat, and then the third eye. It's kind of interesting. Communication is really big here. And so in this instance, communicating truths of the self and the soul, as well as sharing your vision with the wide world. So group 2, your lapis cards now are the Six of Wands, the Hermit in reverse, Queen of Cups, Six of Cups, the Knight of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so let's start with the Six of Wands here and the Wheel of Fortune. So these are making me feel like there's an aspect of publicity in what you're doing in the next few months. So perhaps this is in part due to the renewed clarity you find yourself tapping into. This publicity includes opportunities to share your vision, your truths, setting goals and tapping into a very positive forward momentum from that goal setting. The seeds are being planted for the future. This could be related to work, but it also could be in part your own personal interests or code. You may be someone who uses their voice, such as a musician, a writer, an activist, a mentor or coach. This publicity may be related to helping others, or your own light and purpose is magnified over the next few months with a clarity that helps your message travel further. You know, not only is this public, but you know, the Wheel of Fortune to me always indicates something will be running its natural course. And I never like to say something's fated, but there is a touch of you doing things or acting out things that are meant to be part of a path for you, or at least will be very likely to be part of your path. You might be expressing a part of your soul's purpose if that's something you believe in, doing something that truly matters to you. So while you may be receiving a bit more attention in the upcoming months, it may be more than you're used to, particularly with the Hermit in reverse. Virgo energy, you're coming out of the cave. So if you identify as an introvert, it's okay to take the time you need to process and recharge batteries. Although this reading makes me think that your energy levels are actually quite high. Another Knight of Wands. Is that a Wolverine, I think? You've got a fire in your group too. And I think things are feeling good. And that's part of the fuel that's pushing you forward at this time. Now, I'm thinking about that emerald energy again. The Queen of Cups. There's someone you know, either an acquaintance, a friend, a lover, a mentor, a wish. They feel a little new. Perhaps you're just meeting them. And that might be a small group of you. I think most of you will know of this person, either directly or you've already talked. You may have been talking to them for a while, or you may have known them for some months, or perhaps a year or so. That's your Queen of Cups person here. So they're likely very intuitive and wise. Perhaps they're beautiful as well. And I feel like this person will help guide you through this period or keep you balanced as you move through this. Because you're bringing a lot of heat, right? And this divine feminine energy here will help cool you down and ground you back into yourself. So if they aren't actively assisting you with your work, they are a bolster or a cheerleader for you, give this person a call, set up a meeting, whatever it is that applies to your circumstances. It's very yin and yang. And if you get a bit too serious, they're going to make you laugh. If you're too much in your head, they're going to ground you into your heart. I think you likely see this individual as being a little elevated or above you. And this may also mean that they are a little older than you are. You may feel like you need to prove yourself to give them something or to offer them something worthwhile, but group 2, you don't. Just be yourself. you know, realize you don't need to burn out to get their attention. They would prefer it if you did not, actually. And I think they're much more intuitive about you and your situation than you realize. They see you. They see what's going on. Okay, remember how we had the Two of Cups? Here it is, earlier. This guy. And the elephants, we talked about a partner. The Queen of Cups actually may be that same person for some of you. The relationships are key in this phase. So group 2, allow yourself to be accessible to those that you care about and to be vulnerable. And it's okay to lean in at this time. Yeah. And look, we have elephants again on the Six of Cups. So this is about making beautiful new memories together. So I think this Queen of Cups person is part of your journey, as are all the other elephants. I don't know if you can see them on this card. Some of you are making new friends, people who are more in alignment with you than perhaps others you might ordinarily spend time with. It's like you're meeting members of your soul family. And the Queen of Cups individual is one of those people. And this group of people will help to support you on your journey. They may have to do with this public kind of feeling that we talked about that's coming through this month for you. All right, let's look at our last messages for you, group 2. We have some oracle cards here. And this is from the Oracle of the Strange Forest. And, oh, there we go. We were upside down. We have Boar. And I think this card mentions like matriarchy, as I recall. Yeah. So, remember our Queen of Cups. This is an affirmation to reach out to the women in your life, or those with divine feminine energy, doesn't have to be a female, for support. Friends, family, a lover. You're supported. They're going to help you make the magic. They're going to be part of that for you. And then the Wild Offering Oracle. We have enjoyment. Striving and pushing makes life into endless hard work. The more you're inviting love to take over, the more enjoyment comes. Allow me to enjoy this life, dear Lord. That one's pretty self-explanatory, especially with this phase that you're entering in. There is a lot of pleasure coming forward with you on this, a lot of clarity. There's a lot of heat too. Just make sure that you are enjoying yourself. Okay. And then finally, we have the Inquire Within Oracle. These I sort of leave up to interpretation of you and your circumstance. So we have seek inspiration in unusual places. I like that. Step outside the box. Get out of your own way. It's always good advice. And there we are. Oh my gosh, this is perfect for the Emerald energy. Plant a seed and wait. Things are happening. Your seeds may already be planted, but there's a little affirmation for you. All right, so thank you so much for being here with us today, group 2. I am sending big love and gratitude your way. If you're interested in booking a personal reading, you can find information in the description box below the video. If you felt this reading was entertaining or beneficial, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to my channel for more free pick-a-card readings in the future. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. And as always, thank you so much for spending time with us today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye, friends. Hello, group 3. If you picked this Lake Superior white quartz rock, it just came from the beach right out front, then welcome to your reading. Today's reading is your peek ahead spread, and what I would like to do is more of a free-form reading today, and from that we'll be able to see what particular messages are being emphasized just a little bit more for you, as opposed to trying to structure everything into set areas. So this might involve talking about hobbies, career, or relationships, maybe self-improvement. It just really depends on what your guides want to emphasize and the energies that are around you. I'm going to begin, and what I'll do is pull oracle cards. There are going to be 3 of them. Each card is going to indicate a theme or energies for the upcoming months, and we will clarify each one of these with tarot cards for more specific information, with a smattering of advice regarding these particular themes. Please remember, with all pick-a-card readings, nothing is ever set in stone. particularly when it comes to predicative energies, because it's all about what's currently within your energetic field. Your free will is the ultimate key here. So if there is something that you really like, lean into that, harness it a bit more, grow that energy. And if there's something that you don't like, you don't have to accept it, and you can turn things around from this point going forward. So let's take a look at what we have here. So your first card here is Tanzine Aura Quartz, and I'm going to pull this up. If you would like to take a screenshot of that, you can do so. And I want to kind of go off of what I'm getting from this. It isn't necessarily going to match what's on the back, but I know this is associated with the crown chakra and the divine. And as I'm tuning into this, it always does this. It gives me this rush of heat toward your crown, towards my crown. But that heat is actually emanating from the lower chakras. And this is in particular tied into the solar plexus, which is located where your solar plexus is located. The energy moves out in my body. I'm feeling it from that central point, and it moves into my limbs and my hands and my feet. There's just this rush and warmth and connection. So this makes me feel like group 3, that things in your life are lining up and moving forward in a way that's going to feel right to you. It's as though there was something in your life before where you couldn't quite connect all the dots, couldn't see the full picture, and those missing dots have suddenly appeared. Have you been doing inner work? That's what it feels like. Something that's a strong possibility for some of you. And it can also imply that your manifesting abilities are at an all-time high right now. You can almost will things into creation, attract what you want in life. There's a lot happening here. This particular card, out of all the groups that I've done so far, don't tell the other groups, sorry. Groups 1 and 2. This one's definitely had like the biggest physical impact on my body so far. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen next with this. Okay, we're going to look at your tarot that are associated with this. Okay, so we're working with the Blooming Cat Tarot today, and your cards are the Four of Wands, the Ace of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Six of Cups, the Six of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So, this is interesting. Look here. It almost looks like our Ace of Wands is topped by this crystal. So again, this to me is a huge symbol of you connecting the dots and stepping into your power. It's about entering into a new phase, perhaps leaving behind this time of confusion or inability to see clearly. As we can see with the Six of Swords here. Yeah. So there's a clarity now for you, and perhaps you were looking for clarity in external places, external sources, and others, when the answer was within you all the time. And I see this as though it's like this is your torch that's been lit, and you're able to see now. There is a specific message for some of you that if you've been consulting many outside sources, you can have faith that you know the answer, only you know what's right for you. At a certain point, you may realize you've collected so many outside opinions that it has become redundant noise, white noise, a din in your mind, and you have this light, you have this North Star inside of you that knows the answer. So tune in. And if you're someone who resonates with the idea of your energy channel opening up, as I was talking about earlier, lean into that in whatever way makes the most sense to you. So meditation, art, music, walking outside. Find your center, and that still, small voice will be accessible to you. And this will help light the way for you moving forward in a multitude of contexts, Group 3. If this message is resonating for you at this time, you can expect that over the next few months there will be opportunities for you to tune in. Also take the time to cut down on over-relying on others' opinions and get centered around yourself and what you think. For some of you, this is going to be about a social media detox. Shut off the phone. The Six of Swords for me is often associated with technology or science. And this card is about making that change from old habits to new habits. So go within. And the more focused you are within, the more answers will become apparent. Some of you will develop a better meditation practice during this time. For some of you, this shift happens when you let go of working too hard. So where are my fellow Capricorns at with that? Anyone who's got Capricorn, or maybe Virgo prominent in your charts, or just anyone who resonates with this idea that's the Ten of Swords is showing us, everything's fine. No, it's not. Calm down, stop overworking yourself, and stop putting everyone else's needs before your own. When you start opening up those energy channels and your solar plexus specifically, you will regain some of your mojo, which is indicated here by the Queen of Wands. There she is. Asserting boundaries, saying no and meaning it for some of you. Not needing to rehash everything. No explanations with that no. No is no. And that's a complete sentence. All of these things are gifts to yourself, and your body knows it. Your soul knows it. These are the actions of a queen, someone who's elevated, someone who knows her role, someone who knows her worth and how to function within this intersection. Some of you are becoming more creative, more sensual, more sexual perhaps, more fluid in your thinking. Insights are at the ready like a lightning rod. This is a period of huge inspiration for you, and you're going to own it. And I feel like all it takes are a few no's, a few instances of standing up for yourself, asserting boundaries and the like to get you to recognize the energy of where you truly belong, and that is of royalty. So this inner clarity and knowing that you have is helping you to shift yourself into relationships that are more solid and stable. There may be some people that you are pairing out of your life. You're cutting them away, and that's okay. And you may be attracting people that are more your speed, share more of your interests, or perhaps just a general outlook, goals in life. And as you make these changes, you are in essence laying the groundwork for beautiful future memories to be made. Your inner transformation is going to bring about major change, and that spills across many different facets of your life. You cannot undo these changes either. Group 3. What's done is done. Your new outlook is going to bring greater ease and clarity and insight and sprinkle more joy across your daily life. So that is what we have for our first spread. That one, everything came very quickly after we kind of talked about that. So that was interesting. We're going to pop into your next themes, and here we go. Okay, your next theme revolves around that of Golden Healer. Again, if you want to take a screenshot, you can grab that, as I don't always talk about what's on the back. More about what's coming through. So this is self-healing, general healing, empowerment, sharing knowledge with others. I'm getting abundance and power. This can particularly address the idea of ancestral or familial trauma, and can point to the healing of issues within our own self-worth, our self-concept, self-acceptance, moving toward that, the lens with which we view ourselves. This is an incredibly warm and expansive energy. It's one that feels really good, Group 3. Your Golden Healer tarot cards are the Queen of Cups, 3 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. Right, so I want to say that a lot of this has to do with healing and that expansion that comes through the healing. I think we had a little flavor of this with your first pull as well. We talked about if you were doing inner work, if you've been looking to grow. This is going to be a very expansive time for you, group 3. The 5 of Pentacles that we have here often speaks to an energy of separation, an energy of isolation, feeling that way with others, feeling a sense of isolation within yourself. And I almost want to say that the shape that we have here mimics a window, right? It's almost like a roller shade. If you were to grasp the bottom, it would go flying up. And that separation that existed between you and whatever's in here is gone. So I see that as maybe you finally doing that. Pulling the shade. Big blocks being released right now. It's like you're coming home to yourself. Seeing yourself with a fresh new perspective, with new eyes. And that's you shifting into this Queen of Cups energy. I love that little seashell on her head there. In this phase, there's no more separation in the mind. There's an openness and an expansive quality within you which other people can sense. You feel more secure, you feel more solid. I want to say radiant also for some of you, and that radiance I think is magnetizing for others, and it will pull them into you, friends and partners and probably even strangers on the street. The Queen of Cups is in touch with their emotions, their intuition. They make decisions from a steady place of deep understanding of their emotional states. They make excellent listeners, healers, artists, dreamers. You may be gaining some new insights over the next few months that will propel a creative or work endeavor or hobby into a new space. You may find that you can sit more easily with others and listen to their stories. You can hold space for them, dive into your process, and be open. I think there really are some big, beautiful shifts coming your way. And part of this process may be leaving behind things that no longer serve you. There's Goomba. He's behind me on the couch here, and he's scratching. If you hear him making noises, he's just being an old dog. You might be leaving behind not just old habits, but identities maybe, conditioned patterns of behavior. Perhaps you're settling into some new goals for yourself as well. You know, eye on the mountain right there. And for some of you, this is a direct message that you need to chill out with the perfectionism, please. Things aren't always going to be perfect, so you can knock that right off. Don't worry so much about saying the right thing at the right time, with the right intonation and the right amount of enthusiasm. Some of you, I think, are really holding yourselves back from achieving your goals, your dreams, and your realizations. There may be some elements of life that are sweeping right past you as you stand by the shore instead of diving into the water. And for some of you, you are, if you're biting your tongue over a potential love match, speak up. Go out on a limb and say something sweet to your person. It's okay. Because if that person isn't right for you, then they're not going to be right for you. And if that person is the right person, they're going to reciprocate. All right, that's just for some of you. Now, the Page of Pentacles is showing us that, all movements count, even the smaller ones. This is a great time to begin thinking about what you want in the weeks and the months ahead. Begin planning with your future you in mind, dear future self. Just don't forget to enjoy yourself as you plan. Live your life too. Don't dive into the water. Don't stay up on the shore. Yeah, there's enthusiasm with this. Sometimes when we think of the baby steps, we think of the work. Pentacles are a little slower moving energy. There's still enthusiasm as we have youth here. Even if you're not someone who considers themselves chronologically young, or even your spirit age. Your spirit age might be 999, but there's still movement here. It's going to be a little bit easier, I think, than you think it is. And for some of you, this need to speak up may actually be related to a job or a collaboration, as we have the Three of Pentacles here, along with the Knight of Swords. If there's someone you're thinking about collaborating with, the cards are showing that it can be a fruitful and productive partnership. And all of this does feel tied into this golden healer energy. Making changes within that are going to impact you and your outer world view. So the inside impacts kind of the outside. There's a shift that happens. Other people notice this, and things are pretty fruitful for you, and that can multiply for you. A lot of blessings here. As you show your steady and attuned self, I think others notice that. Measured risks are going to pay off for you. And that's the theme for everything. I want to go back to that Page of Pentacles. I kind of was talking about like taking a risk in love as well. It can be a measured risk. You don't have to go out like completely on a limb and do something crazy. You can if you want, but obviously take everything with a grain of salt here. If it feels right, go for it. But measured risks is what's coming through for me here. Measured risks pay off. And there's a lot of lovely collaboration for you ahead, whether that is love, whether that is some kind of working partnership, friendship. Yeah, and for some, and this does come through a lot, I don't know, I think it has been in a lot of these readings, this collaboration is actually going to be a mix of romance and work. So maybe you and a partner are starting a business, or you're working on something with a crush that you have. There's no need to rush things. Enjoy the time you have together, but you know, definitely speak up if you have something to say. Don't let perfectionism bind you to old patterns and habits. You know, be a participant in your own life, is what I want to say that's coming through, because there is growth for you here. There's a beautiful energy here for you to tap into. And it has to do with this healing. You've got a lot of good stuff going on here. I'm really excited. Okay, we're going to look at your final theme, and then we'll get additional advice after that. So your final theme, group 3, for the upcoming months ahead centers around this stone here. This is cuprite. I think that's how we say it. And this is a feeling of evolution for you, rising up and meeting obstacles, using new skills and resources to move through difficulties. This crystal has an elevated quality to it. I see it like you are taking it into your pocket or your palm and holding it when things are difficult while it lends its energy to you. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to be encountering a bunch of tough stuff necessarily, group 3. The energetic quality itself is just one of strength and security, and we all could use a little more of that. There's a positive flow in your direction from this warm stone. And I know, yeah, security. The message on the back here talks a little bit about security and helping others with no expectations or strings attached, taking responsibility for the decisions you make. And what's interesting is the idea that cuprite assists in facing issues. It talks about like authority figures, especially I think it says with your father, authority figures. Yes, in order to become the authority figure in your own life. And so that's going to be a very specific message for some of you, and maybe parents in general for a few of you. Like as a parental unit, maybe breaking out of familial patterns or roles that maybe you unconsciously kind of stepped into and they're holding with you. For some, again, it may not be a father, but it could just be somebody in general who's holding that kind of energy for you. You don't have to be related to them. And for others, this is likely a general feeling of support. So you may notice in the days and weeks to come that things are a little easier for you around or surrounding that specific person who you view in this way. And this also helps with resistance and blame and enables us to step up and into our own vitality. And I want to say too that I'm getting a feeling of passion with this as well. So this could be romance for some of you watching. I feel like I keep talking about that, but it is coming through. And then possibly also just like a flame getting kindled. Like it could be about delving into passions or hobbies for you as well. All right, so we have the Queen of Swords and the Two of Swords with the Empress, the Six of Wands, the Chariot, and the Two of Wands. Very nice. So there's a lot of fire and air energy here for you. So things are moving quickly for you, group 3, especially with the Chariot card here. There's a lot of fast movement and rapid changes. Like Cancer, things coming up to the surface. So this could indicate a blooming relationship or a shift within a relationship with someone where one or both of you realize there's maybe something growing beneath the soil, like roots are establishing themselves before a shoot bursts forth from the ground. And this could also be a strong friendship or companionship. The Empress here, this is earth energy. This is the bloom on the flower. And it could represent your person. So it could be a blonde-haired person. That's going to resonate with just a select group who's watching. We obviously can't talk about everybody in the world. That's impossible. But this is just a lovely, stable, and steady individual who is supportive of you in all you do in your endeavors. They want nothing but your success. And for some of you, they want to spoil the heck out of you. Yes. Some of you are getting spoiled. Good for you. Enjoy that. And with our Two of Wands, this is such a pretty card. I love this one. It's almost like the Two of Cups in this instance. I see a merging of positive energy. We've got 2 roses at the bottom here. And that's like the two of you together. This is a daydreaming and envisioning kind of energy, like the cats under the full moon, right? And that could indicate that one or both of you might be quite intuitive. They're sitting on top of the world. And that could indicate travel or planning to travel, a long distance relationship for some of you, or being in 2 different places. Notice how we have trees framing this. One's here and the other one's there. Yeah. So there may be a physical separation for some of you with this person, but I feel like the two of you are either cut from the same cloth, or you just have this intuitive kind of vibe going on. You may be connecting in the 5D, but there's just a lovely kind of spiritual and magnetic connection between the two of you. And I want to say soul family, which to me, I should say, encompasses all soul connections. So if you want to toss in soulmates, you can do that. But this feels like the start of something lovely, and it isn't something that's going to burn out quickly. Sometimes you can get that with a lot of the fire and air energy that we have here because they are fast moving. But the Empress and the feeling of this cuprite crystal are just so balanced to me. It feels super tempered. It's very solid. So if you're thinking things through and you haven't made a move, it is okay to do so. And I know we kind of talked about that over here. So this is likely the same kind of thing. It just feels like things are deepening over here. Here, it feels like you're working on stuff. Here, it's like we've come out the other side. All right. You might send some feelers out and kind of see how your person reciprocates. Now, the kind of abundant security and flow that cuprite has and that taps into is really going to impact your communication. So it's like you're having this hidden reserve of strength, group 3. It's a resolve that elevates your decision-making and communication skills, as we've got the Queen of Swords here, and we also have the Six of Wands together. We're very elevated, right? So this elevation will get you noticed by others who know you or think they know you well. It may be that you have a different way of getting your point across, whereupon they take you a little more seriously for some. You know, and maybe this is for the people that are testing you a little bit. And it might be that you stop taking their BS so much to heart, because the Two of Swords here talks about that ability to go within. Amongst what might normally be stressful situations or words, and finding your clear inner voice. And I think you've really tapped into that at this point. You've really gotten that. And I feel like your spirit team and your guides are just really celebrating this change for you. It's like you finally see the crown on your head. And I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3 crowns here and a flower crown. You're owning it. I think you're walking through these next few months with a lot more clarity in your communication. You're feeling more clear as well. You're concise. And some of you are more passionate. You've discovered your voice, or perhaps you've found it again. There's so much positive momentum for you here that I feel like the world is just your oyster, group 3. Let's see what other last messages we have for you. And this is from the Oracle of the Strange Forest, and we have the snake. Oh, okay, so remember that person we just talked about, a friendship or companionship or love. This is like the two of you here, sharing parts of your energy but doing your own thing, and you're not united under that rose. This is really cute. Like, I just want to squeeze you guys. So, oh, right, this is a snake. So maybe your person wants to give you a big hug or a snuggle. I don't know, that's nice. I feel like your person is an amazing hugger, or you would love cuddling up with them or holding them or being held by them. Peas in a pod, you two. Yeah. This is also about healing energy and transmutation, which is a lot of the stuff that we talked about earlier. You healing old patterns. You're becoming more integrated with and stepping into your own power. This is the beginning of a new cycle across the board, not just with relationships, okay? So group 3, have faith, have hope. This is beautiful. I feel like this is a big spiritual group that is possibly watching this. If you're here, that might resonate for you. Okay. And then from the Wild Offering Oracle, we have divine timing. Okay. The divine brings things in the timing that we need. Nothing comes before we're prepared, nor leaves too soon, nor leaves too early. May I always trust your perfect and holy timing, dear Lord. Okay. So I'm going to leave that message in your hands. The divine timing may be a reminder you're on the path that you're meant to be on, when you're meant to be on it. Everything is perfectly acceptable where you are at this moment. So just relax and try not to force anything. And also, this could be, speaking of this possible relationship or friendship blooming when it does. It's because it's time. And then our Inquire Within Oracle, we have Listen Quietly. Nice. Make space for it. Maybe there's some things you need to cut out. We kind of talked about that, I think, pairing things up. And emerge. Yeah, step forward. Dive in the water. Don't stay on the shore. So, group 3, I really feel positively about these changes for you and what's ahead on your current path. Let us know a bit about your journey and post your favorite emoji that represents transmutation or change. Or maybe you just want to toss in a kitty cat. Totally up to you. Your words do help others on their path with your guidance. So thank you so much for sharing with us if you decide to do so, and also for being here with us today. I'm sending big love and gratitude your way as always. If you're interested in booking a personal reading, you can find information in the description box below the video. I do other things besides tarot reading. If you're into healing, cord cutting, that kind of thing, you can find all that information over in my Etsy shop. If you felt this reading was entertaining or beneficial, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to my channel for more free pick-a-card readings in the future, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Thanks for spending time with all of us today, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next one. Bye, Group 3. Hello, Group 4. If you picked the Bumblebee Jasper, isn't that pretty? And the Ostara Tarot, then welcome to your Peek Ahead spread. Okay. So what I'm doing is more of a free-form reading compared to other times where I do, like, your monthly energies coming up. And in that way, particular messages are being emphasized in the way that they need to be, as opposed to like pigeonholing everything. We're going to be going over relationships possibly, or career, hobbies, self-improvement. It really is just depending on what your guides want to emphasize. I will be pulling 3 oracle cards with a matching set of tarot cards. Each one of those oracle cards will designate a theme or an idea or an energy that we kind of anchor into for the months ahead, and then we'll clarify with the tarot. We'll also have a smattering of advice that may go into kind of embracing those themes, what you want to do to work with them. And remember, with all pick-a-card readings, that nothing is set in stone, particularly when we're talking about predicative energies. This is about what's in your current energy field, and so you may recognize some of this is already developing. You can choose to say, I like this, I want to harness it, I want to work with it, and go in that direction. And you can also say, I don't accept that, I don't want that, or that doesn't feel right for me. And so you can choose to walk away from that and to not engage with that any further. Your free will is the most important thing when it comes to any pick a card reading, any readings that you're watching. So let's pop right into it. We're going to take a look at your cards. Okay, so we're starting with, I believe this is just meant to be quartz crystal. Yeah. If you would like to screenshot any of these when I put them up, I don't always go off of what's on the back. Sometimes I read the back. It just depends. That's there for you. Okay, so quartz is high vibrational. It's super versatile. It can be used to program other crystals if you're crystal gridding. It's a wonderful crystal just to channel different energy through. And what I'm feeling from this is unique. It's like this is something meant specifically for each and every one of you who is watching today. And it almost feels like a prayer or an acknowledgement of the beautiful person that you are. And this could be a message from loved ones who have passed on. Yeah, wow, this is making my chest flutter, like my heart chakra wants to open up, my hands are getting hot, so that's a healing energy, yes. Possibly your guides and angels as well. This is just very clean and very beautiful and very pure. Okay, so let's see what's going on. This already feels very different than what we've done so far in any of the other groups. Your tarot cards that we have here are the Nine of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the World, Knight of Wands, Justice, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, yeah, this is very different. I feel like this spread is maybe less about upcoming energy, and it's more about making a connection with your guides or angels or deceased loved ones and ancestors. It's possible you may find in these upcoming months an ease in connection and communication with those who reside in another plane of existence. Some of you may be mediums or working on that aspect of mediumship. For those of you who are on that spiritual quest. Some of this you're just going to be getting advice. I can tell already. So right off the bat, let's jump into this. We have our Nine of Pentacles card here. Here we go. And this gives me the impression that there's a spirit who is wanting to connect with you. This card gives off very peaceful vibes with its colors, and there's a gorgeous garden here. There's a big cat and someone who's relaxing in the midst of all of this, and they have their eyes closed. It's as though they're saying that they can finally rest and that there's luxury or comfort surrounding them. Comfort is really being emphasized. They can have the luxury if they want it, because they can have anything they want. They can create any life that they wish, be anyone or anything, at peace. Peace is what I'm feeling here. It's a card of quiet contemplation, of healing, and being completely at peace with one's surroundings. Rest is what's being emphasized here. And that may be a message for some of you, or it could be about your loved one at this moment. So if you're not connecting this energy with a particular individual, this may be a message for you to be gentle with yourself, to give yourself what you need at the moment, to feel this kind of ease that this individual on the card is showing on their face. If you hear the snoring, that's my dog. You might need to take a minute to slow things down. Try not to do anything life-changing right now or make big decisions at the moment, as this is about being charitable with yourself, especially if you've been through a lot recently or you are experiencing burnout. Give yourself some time. Know that your guides are sending this kind of rejuvenating energy to you while you rest. Yeah. Be gentle with yourself. So we also have this Knight of Wands here, who looks like they are bearing a torch. This is one of my favorite cards. And it gives me the impression that a spirit guide or your person from the Nine of Pentacles here is letting you know to keep your eyes and senses open for signs and contact from them. And I feel like this is in part them coming to you with the signs, like they're kind of lowering their vibration to come down to where we are. But this is also about you being receptive, being open to various things. And I have a feeling we're going to be getting a few ideas here. So I'm particularly drawn to how we have this like beam coming out of the eyes there. You can see that. If I can get this in focus. Okay, see that? The beam coming from the eyes? It's looking directly over here at the Justice card here. And the Justice card has on it, it's got a feather here and a heart. Okay. And it looks like actually she has got wings for arms. So feathers may be a sign for you. And also I want to say the heart is, again, a major place we can connect and also process healing energy through. That was kind of coming through here as well with the quartz. So this may be a point of connection to whoever the spirit is. Or your guides and angels may send you healing energy through the heart chakra and your central channel. And this may be a spiritual gift that you possess, the ability to trigger healing in others. Some of you may have this manifest in clairsentience, as your palms or hands may heat up or tingle, or perhaps even vibrate when you come into proximity with someone who needs that energetic boost. And since we're on the topic of hands, this is weird. I mean, it's not weird. It is what it is. I'm being told to talk about paints or painting. So I see a paintbrush. Some of you are being encouraged to continue to paint or may find painting to be soothing and healing. Some of you may actually channel while you paint. Yes, group 4. That's something I've experienced before. You know, you kind of go in and I felt like, you know, as you're making the brush strokes here, that you're kind of going into a trance and the energy channel in your center, the center of your body sort of just opens up. It goes through your heart space and it's really high vibrational. It's a beautiful feeling. Yeah. And it could be any kind of art for you. It's just going to depend who's watching. Maybe it's making music, you know, it's whatever kind of gets you into that zone, I think. Meditation is also going to be a big thing for connection with this group. Both the figures here, we've got eyes closed, and then on the Justice card, our eyes are covered. So spend some time going within. There's lots of apps or videos out there for the various types of meditations. You can take classes on meditating types as well. Because meditation can be used for many different things. Everyone throws it out there, you need to meditate, but there are so many different ways to meditate. You can meditate for different purposes, and that's up to you. What are you drawn to? You might want to do a little exploration there. So, yeah, this may be in part advice for you within your own lifetime, establishing a meditation practice that best suits you, and in part, this can also be about meditating to connect with your guides and your loved ones. So there's one purpose. When I was first opening up, meditation was the way that I was able to begin to see color, feel sensation, and eventually see people, see guides or angels, all manners of spirit. And it took practice, but it was definitely worth the effort. I had to try very hard for that. Yeah, just like when you're painting, I guess. You're going to start somewhere, and the more you do it, the better you'll get with reflection. And we have the same laser kind of focused gaze on this card as well. You can see it coming from the eyes here of this person. So this is the Two of Wands. So on the Knight of Wands, we saw this almost like your spirit team was kind of coming to you, blazing that trail forward. And with the Two of Wands, this card is more about you tuning in and clearly looking for signs and synchronicities. They're really looking at this bird right here. We've got birds that are outside cages. 1, 2, 3 of them. 4? Yeah, 4. While their own head is imprisoned in a cage. Yeah, I think this is really about stretching yourself, getting yourself into a place where you can connect with the birds, these symbols, and your spirit team as well. So this may mean completely stripping away a layer that once kept you protected, like ego, walls, boundaries, in order to get to a state where you can fully tune in. Those things need to kind of go away. You've got to work on that. And this is especially likely. You likely have these things going on if you came from backgrounds of skepticism or where spirit communication was forbidden. People just didn't believe in that. You had parents, maybe they were agnostic, or you didn't go to explore, I guess, religion or spirituality. Things might be inappropriate, highly judged, looked down upon, just not a lot of room there to explore and be yourself. And I'm hearing that you need to find your own path in this way. This is your journey. It may not look quite like anyone else's. It may not sound quite like anyone else's, because the path to awakening or opening up, depending on whatever term you want to use, it can be quite lonely. But the more you open up, the more you're going to find others just like you. Birds of a feather flock together. Something else that's being stressed to you too is this idea of connectedness with the world cards. The world cards, yeah. The world card. Your guides, your person, whoever this is to you, and that Knight of Pentacles card, they're emphasizing the importance of connections. Whether that's making new connections with others like you on this path of awakening or reaching out to others in general, the emphasis is to slow down and enjoy what's around you. The Seven of Swords to me is almost emphasizing an opposite action. This is almost like a guide. This is what not to do with other people. You know, don't be so guarded. It's okay to be a little bit. We talked about needing to kind of like pull our walls down a little bit. Put down some of your swords and try to be a bit more open with your defenses. Do you need to have those defenses up? It's like almost like sometimes when we have those defenses up, we're assuming the worst of everybody and everything else. And sometimes that's all we can focus on then. We spend so much time building those things up that our energy's depleted. Explore the world. Explore other people in it. Yeah, these have an exploratory vibe. Everything here is like exploration to me. You know, whether that's internal exploration, looking for signs here, moving forward. This is an opportunity just to forge some new connections and see where they take you. You may meet an entirely new group of friends or companions, or you're just likely to start connecting more. And if you're someone who holds themselves back, perhaps because of your own energetic sensitivities or insecurities, I am being told to mention that you don't have to be so cautious. There is a place for you at the table, and it's as big as the world. You will make a difference. That's Goomba is agreeing. You will make a difference in your own emotional life by having the confidence to put yourself out there in whatever way makes sense to you, whatever this is. And you will connect more with others who are like you. There are some beautiful new connections for you that are waiting to be born. Absolutely. And remember, this quartz crystal is all about amplifying your unique energy, whatever that is that you're putting out. So if you want to play it safe, that's what's being projected outward. If you relax, be your shining self, the energy shows your true radiance. And honestly, what is more exciting than someone who shares themselves regardless of their perceived insecurities, their doubts, what they may see in themselves as flaws? When I run into individuals like this, that, you know, there's somebody who appears to be bulletproof to me. There's something truly magical about those who are able just to let everything hang out, good, bad, however other people might view those traits. When we don't judge ourselves, we gain a magnetic confidence, and it may help shift us into this kind of energy here, where we're happy no matter who we are and no matter where we are. Confidence is what I'm talking about here. Consider this a message from your spirit team or your deceased loved one on how important connection is and to prioritize your own happiness. I'm getting a message to don't, you don't need to play it too safe. Like, don't be a participant in your own life. Also, don't rely too much on external benchmarks because they will leave you feeling cold. Yeah. big hugs coming your way, and your crew is definitely looking forward to connecting a little more with you should you decide to do this. The energy is always there for you, even if you don't want to. You can always do it. Okay, so we've moved on. Your next theme here is surrounding this card. This is the energy of sodalite. So, sodalite to me, this was one of the first stones I ever got from a medium and a Reiki master who was helping me with my own communication. So it always makes me think of clear communication, whether that's receptive or expressive language of the throat chakra. But I also lump this into our third eyes, clearly seeing what's around us, not wearing blinders, being grounded in our bodies, unifying intellects and creative aspects of communication. And also, I want to emphasize the idea of being comfortable in your own skin, which does tie back into some of the messages from the last poll with the idea of confidence and putting yourself out there, whatever that means to you. Your sodalite tarot cards are the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, the Lovers, the Knight of, I believe that's Knight of Cups, and we have the Judgment card in reverse, and then we have Death. So you've got quite a bit of major arcana going on there. So I want to say, if maybe you had a little period of R&R over here, maybe you did need to relax a little bit, put yourself in a timeout, maybe spend some time going within, that you're better able to enter this energy of steadiness and clear and strong communication. I think things feel easy for you. Are you working hard? Are you working diligently? Have you been doing that? Yes. We can see that. But this doesn't feel like work. It feels like a renewal. Things are feeling fun for me. If you've been having a period of self-doubt, this is where you can make room for the energy of curiosity, which is what this Page of Wands always makes me think of. I love this rendition of this card. Curiosity feels very good for you. Getting curious about others, about your own skills and abilities, and how you can develop them. This is truly being comfortable in your own skin and being grounded in your own reality. And you might even get a little confidence boost if you are connecting to others like we talked about here. If you are developing maybe some of your mediumship abilities, that might give you something here to take into the 3D a little bit more. Yeah, curiosity, I think, is the energy that you want to anchor into. This is going to have you better able to work, I think, and to find the energy to complete tasks. If you have been a little low, as we talked about, or juggling too much, curiosity is also going to help you find new ways to communicate and share your ideas with others. Perhaps you've been feeling a little muddled in your thinking lately, a bit tired, kind of like the magic that happens in your mind and your thought processes. It's not always clearly communicated to others, so it may not land the same way. It doesn't have the same impact. So you may find that there are times where you don't feel heard, or you feel like you have to fight to have a voice. And I feel like these next few months you are entering a period where either you are directly working on your communication skills, or things are just easier for you. So perhaps you're working on ideas or concepts that you'd like to share with your skill set for work or within your relationships, and you find that as you explain, things are sticking, they're landing. You have people willing to listen, and perhaps, again, that may have to do with you putting yourself out there. But regardless of how you approach this effort, things do feel easier for me here. You feel very good about being within this space. Now, this is not a magic pill. There is work here, but I sense that you're going to land on an approach that makes sense for you. Now, some of this may have to do with suspending self-judgment. So we have the judgment card in reverse here. You know, focusing on things that you can control right now versus things that you can't. For example, if you are very concerned about public speaking or putting ideas out to the public, even just like putting yourself out there, that could be what we were talking about earlier. You know you can't control how others perceive you. So instead of worrying about how your image lands, you might shift your focus to prioritizing how you can be of service to others. This also builds up that communication and that connection aspect that we talked about with the World card. Because we often seem to go around thinking that everybody else has their shit together, when nothing could be further from the truth. Very well established and famous individuals still experience extreme doubt and low self-confidence. They are not immune just because they have a bigger platform. And I think we often maybe put those people up on a pedestal and that they outmatch us in every sense of the word. But they are just as human as we are. They may even be more nervous than you think. So why not make this a time about being a bit more connected? Go ahead and take a risk within relationships or communication, because the energy for you, group 4, is very good for this right now. Stay curious about your path, where you can grow, and push yourself a little bit here. And I want to say, when you do this, it's going to lead to positive partnerships, connections, possibly a romance. Okay, but we have to let go of the energy and the choices and the habits that no longer serve us. That's in order to move into this phase a little more smoothly. This could be letting go of outdated ideas, modes of operating, old relationships or friendships that don't serve you, a connection you've been fighting for perhaps where someone isn't investing in you in the same manner in which you deserve. And this is all about taking off blinders that you may have on, getting real about your wants, and then buckling down and working hard. And as you do so, all the benefits that we spoke about with the sodalite, the clear communication, the seeing, the hearing, the speaking, the clarity of thought, it's going to begin to manifest itself in your day-to-day experiences and your work. You may have some interesting and fantastic new conversations and connections moving forward from this. Okay, we're going to look at your final group of energies. So your final energies are attached to the stone of garnet. And that's a stone for Aquarians and Capricorns, or January birthdays. I adore this stone, not just because it's my birthstone, but it's gorgeous and it has this deep red color, at least this one does. They come in many different colors. But garnet to me always feels like it contains hidden depths and worlds within. And that's Goomba drinking. I'm recording this right around his dinner time for you guys, and so he's a little noisy right now. He's having a good time. So this garnet energy is, for you, it's like entering a period of exploration, learning more about what makes you tick. This might be an exploration of hobbies or interests, something that's not obvious to others. Perhaps there's a hidden desire or... which reminded me, I know some of these things are on the back, but if you want the picture, if I can get that in focus, that quartz crystal is really competing with it. Cover that up. There we go. Okay. Yes, okay. Hidden desires. It is a stone of sexuality and sexual healing. So it could be that part of what's coming up for you is you're getting to know what makes you tick in the sheets. Maybe it's tantra, maybe it's role-playing, or really learning your erotic blueprint. And then if you have a partner, your partner's erotic blueprint as well. This could be about sharing those blueprints and having a dialogue about them, communicating about it. So you can take your eroticism and connection to a deeper level. And in addition to self-exploration, this gemstone also aids us in noticing self-sabotaging behaviors. It can assist us as we work to remove blocks or doubts about ourselves. And this just ultimately is a beautiful healing stone as you enter a period of inner exploration. All right, so your garnet tarot cards are the Hierophant, the Tower in reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse, also the Two of Cups, the Ten of Wands in reverse, and then also the Ace of Wands. So, wow, okay. Okay, friends, so this is definitely a message for you that changes in the air. This is transformation, and it's beautiful and it's empowering. So we have the Hierophant here, and this is typically a card of tradition and traditional values, institutions, and it could imply in this instance that the values you were raised with, or the company you keep currently, group or club you belong to, or a place you currently reside in, that might be what we're talking about, not just familial values. Some places and cultures are more traditional or more reserved, more collectively minded. This is about you shaking things up a little bit. As I'm reading, this particular iteration of the Hierophant is also about learning, digging into a study or deep exploration, like we talked about with the garnet, and gaining new wisdom and insight. Wow. All right, I can do this today as a result of that exploration. So this may really shake things up for you, or for members of this group, your family, your faith, your culture, your neighborhood. And I do think you are coming out of this as a very changed individual. So as a result, I think you no longer identify with other people's projections of you and the slings and arrows that, one time probably hurt you. They're not going to have the same kind of impact. You don't get your dander up. You don't feel like your hands are tied. You don't see yourself backed into a corner. You aren't playing a role for anyone, unless we're talking about something consensual, empowering, and likely related to sexuality, as mentioned earlier. The Tower in reverse shows us this change is coming. And what's cool about this is that you can feel it in your bones. You can see it on the horizon, and you embrace this tower's destruction with open arms. You're ready to see your life and your world and the world on your own terms. And I want to say these changes are going to reach into all parts of your life. Yep. All right. You aren't working so hard anymore to facilitate others' needs before your own. You don't work for the sake of working. You work because you enjoy it. And as a result, there is an ease and a grace to all that you do. And I think this attracts people. So we have our Two of Cups here. That one's so sweet. And it perhaps allows some special people or a special person or partner to get a little closer because you've torn down what wasn't serving you. So this deep exploration and learning is creating a huge ripple effect. I think it's just touching, all the different facets of your life. For some of you, I feel like this is you and your person getting closer. Perhaps a friendship becomes something more for some of you, or feelings that have been held back have the space to grow between you and someone special. And I do feel like that's been popping out in some of the other readings. So if you felt drawn to another place and are looking for more of that kind of message, you may want to check out any other pile that you're drawn to. Now, this also can extend to platonic relationships as well. Things in general feel more graceful. They're filled with ease for you. Because you're you. You know who you are. This is such an empowering stone. All of these have been. Channeling your unique energy here. Communicating what you're seeing, like the veil being lifted, the blinders being taken off. And then just getting into the core essence of who you are. You aren't trying so hard. You don't have to. Some of you may have pushed your energy so much into others, perhaps as a means of people pleasing in the past, trying to gain approval, love, or validation. And maybe it's because you had blinders on. You could not see that radiance within yourself. And so I'm going to look for it in external places. You're on the path to not needing that anymore. This is about figuring out what makes you tick and seeing yourself clearly, validating your needs and honoring them. And there's just so much more joy and pleasure and happy communication going forward. And I want to say creativity too, as we have this Ace of Wands. I'm also reading this not just as like burning forward momentum, but also as burning down those obstacles and barriers of self-sabotage, as well as embracing this new path with enthusiasm and pure pleasure. Look at that. It's like we're blazing all the way through with this Knight of Wands. We're going for everything. You guys have a lot of big energy happening here. Holy smokes. Okay, last messages coming through for you guys. Got a couple oracle cards here, beginning with Oracle of the Strange Forest. Aw, and we have a little baddie. Okay, so we have that theme of communication, but the message with this is about not just communication, but getting to that point. It's about developing your process, skill and practice, giving yourself the time you need as you sail into this next phase. So the Garnet transformation, it may not be lickety-split really fast. It's not going to be rapid necessarily, but it will be something quite big to you. It's something that you can look back on a year from now, 2 years from now, and have gratitude for pushing yourself through this. Again, not pushing so that you're burning through everything, but just going forward, doing something for you. Give yourself the time you need. Be kind to yourself if you make mistakes, because it's part of the process. No, you will make mistakes. We all make mistakes, but have a little kindness, have a little gratitude, have patience with yourself as you work through things. We also have messages from the Wild Offering Oracle. I had to think about that. Oop, this way. And this is about perfectionism. This is perfect. Permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. That's perfect. It's perfect, but we don't want perfectionism. That message was spot on. And I think it's great during this time of learning. This may also refer back to, this sodalite spread here. Being kind to yourself as you build your skills. Growth is not linear, and again, you will make mistakes. Perfectionism is getting in the way of your growth. So what steps can you take to start moving into a more realistic picture of where you truly are? How can you dive into the waters of your own life? Be an active participant. Be a leader. From the Inquire Within Oracle, our advice is to begin again. If you fall down, just keep moving forward. Take those baby steps little by little. Notice predictable rhythms. Yeah, these are all great encouragement. Keep going, every time you make a mistake. Baby steps are good, because baby steps is forward movement. And with this notice predictable rhythms, that's about tuning in. See where you may have patterns of behavior that contribute to blockages in your growth. I want to say, Group 4, that all your spreads today are about encouragement for your continued growth and confidence and happiness. All in different ways, but all kind of building into truly knowing your core essence and who you are. So I just want to say to you guys, hang in there. This is amazing, and you've got this. So overall, Group 4, I feel really positively about these changes for you and what's ahead on your current path. Let us know a bit about your journey, and let's post your zodiac emoji. Why not? Tell us who you are. Anything that you choose to share in comments, just know that your words help to guide others on their path and to make connections. So thank you so much for being here with us today, Group 4. I'm sending big love and gratitude your way. And if you're interested in booking a personal reading, you can find information in the description box below the video. If you felt this reading was entertaining or beneficial, please consider giving it a like and subscribe to the channel for more free pick-a-card readings in the future. I hope I said free pick a card readings. I think it sounded like I said freak. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. Thanks for spending time with us today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye, my friends.